Hi, how are you today? My name is Lisa R. Gray. I'm an author, I'm a mother, I'm a counselor and a minister. I want to talk to you about the topic of CSA, child sexual abuse. I want to talk to you about that because I have had personal experience with that. My daughter was sexually abused by my ex-husband, her stepfather, and she did not tell me. I did not know what was going on at the time. And since that time, I've come into so much knowledge, and I just really want to share it with people. So I'm here to encourage you, if that's your experience. I want to enlighten you on the topic, and I really want to educate people about the topic of CSA and why it's so pervasive and why people are not talking about it. So today, I want to talk to you about intimidation. Intimidation. Why is it that the children don't tell, and what is it about intimidation? And I don't want to talk about intimidation of the child. I really want to talk about intimidation of the mother in this case. Mothers, if you are being bullied, if you are being talked down to, if you are being harassed, if you are being disrespected, if that's what your child is seeing is happening to you, would they feel safe enough to come and tell you that this is what's going on with me? If they see that you, the relationship that you're in, that your boyfriend, that your husband is just disrespecting you on so many different levels. They're disrespecting you in the way that they talk to you, in how they treat you, what your child sees on a regular basis. If you are in a situation where you walk in eggshells all the time, where you can't say what you think, where you can't be free, you can't be open, you can't be honest. If that's what your child is seeing your life is, and they're seeing that this is what's taking place with you, will your child come and talk to you? Is that something that they're going to feel comfortable with? If they see that you don't stand up for yourself, if they see that you're in a relationship that is not a give and take relationship, but one of a slave and a master, one of demanding and one of domination, if the power is so unbalanced in your home and your child sees that already, are they really going to come to you and talk to you about what's taking place? Will they feel safe? Will they feel like you're in a position to protect them when you're not protecting yourself? Are you being bullied? Every time you go somewhere, every time you say something to your partner, you find yourself flinching because you don't know if you're going to be hit. You don't know if you're going to be talked down to. You don't know if you're going to be yelled at on a regular basis and demeaned. Is that the life that you're living? And I'm saying to you that if you find that you're in that type of situation where you're being controlled, where there is just there's no balance, where you cannot speak up for yourself, and your child sees that, your girl, your boy, your son, your daughter, if they see that, are they going to come and tell you? And if they do, what's your response? How will you be able to respond to your child if you're not taking up for yourself, if you're not being respected in that relationship that you're in? See, when we talk about intimidation, a lot of times they think that it's just that the child has been intimidated, when in fact they see that their parent has been intimidated, where their parent does not speak up for themselves. So there's no reason for them to have that expectation that they will speak up for the child, for your son and for your daughter. Intimidation is real. That power and control is real. They will live out what they see is taking place in your life. We are going to have to make some decisions about how we live, about how we handle things. And of course, we all argue. Any relationship, there'll be arguments, but how do you handle that? Do you handle that by cursing each other out? Do you handle that by hitting each other? Do you handle it by demeaning that person? Or do you handle it as if you're adults? Or do you revert back to little kids? How do you handle the difficult times? Because that's going to make a difference in whether your child feels free to talk to you. Intimidation is real. That intimidation, a lot of times, is not just the perpetrator talking to the child, but seeing it lived out. They may never say a word, but they see the life that's lived. What type of life are you living in front of your son? What type of life are you living before your daughter? They take their cues from you. Whether they be good or bad, they still will take their cues from you. I want you really to think about that. I want you to consider what type of relationship you have, and if that's what you want. Do you want it to continue as it is? So again, my name is Lisa R. Gray. The book that I wrote about my own personal experience is called They Don't Tell, Child Abuse from a Mother's Perspective. And I really want to encourage, enlighten, I really want to bring some awareness on how pervasive and how prevalent child sexual abuse is. It's one of those things that we are keeping on the down low. We keep it hush hush. We don't want anybody to know. And that's where it breeds. It breeds in the darkness. So I say to you, hold your head up high. You have nothing to be ashamed of. If that's your experience, you can survive through this. I really want you to see what you can do. What are some steps that you can take? Who can you talk to? Who can you trust? It's time to talk about it. It's time to get it out and open, because one thing we know for sure, where there's child sexual abuse, it's not a one-time thing. It happens over and over and over again until someone speaks up. And if you don't speak up, it continues to be it's so pervasive. And it just grows because no one's talking about it. What goes on in this house stays on this house. Oh, what would the neighbors say? What would my friends say? What would they think of me? Who cares? Get the help that you need. Again, you can reach me on my website. My website is lisargray.com. On Facebook, it's simply They Don't Tell. And again, I want those of you who are reaching out to me, I am just really in awe of the number of people that have reached out, that have shared their stories. And we are going to have to continue to do just that. We're going to have to continue to talk to our children. Let them know that the boogeyman is not the stranger. The boogeyman may be living with them. The boogeyman can be a family member, and that's what makes it so difficult. Child sexual abuse is nothing more than it's a crime of access. It's a crime of betrayal. Who has access to your child? Those are the people that we have found over and over again are the ones that's abusing our children. Let's talk to them about it. Let them know that you will stand up with them. Let them know that there's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing that they've done. But we are going to put a stop to this. And how is that? By talking about it. By letting it be made known that this person is abusing children. Thank you, and until the next time.